Mr. Karwa, what's your sense? Do you think that it is all the P-notes issue that is spooking the market, or do you think the market was headed lower anyways? We've got this reassurance on P-notes that nothing knee-jerk will be done. How do you explain the market's performance?
See, as far as this P-note issue is concerned, various regulations, whenever they are introduced, I'm sure the Government of India is cognizant of its impact on the capital market, and I think there will be sufficient time, etc., which will be spent before any regulations are introduced. So I don't think so that there is any knee-jerk reaction as far as the P-note issue is concerned. As far as the markets are concerned, I think we are in this consolidation kind of a phase where we did have a decent run-up pre-results, and as the results have started flowing in, and naturally valuations being fair valuations, so obviously there is some money being taken off the table, and that's what we are possibly seeing now. Even last week, if you see, markets were very volatile, and you had upticks of 1% and downticks of 1% the next day. So I think basically the markets are in a consolidation kind of a phase, and that's what we are witnessing currently.
Saying is, even without the P-note issue, the markets were headed lower and are headed lower.
Yeah, I think there's a profit taking, which is, I mean, markets are reacting to the results flows as well. So I think markets are very, very rational, and stocks are reacting broadly based on the results and the valuations matrix, and that's what we are currently seeing.
Okay. Mr. Karwa, morning. So what is the strategy that investors should adopt now? Is it better to raise your cash levels and take some profits out of this market, or do you continue to buy on every dip?
See, as far as investing is concerned, it is a continuous process. I don't think so you react on every piece of news flow and every quarterly result. I think that's a function of valuations and what is your time horizon. So I don't recommend that investors should be doing any knee-jerk reaction based on a few quarterly numbers disappointing, etc. And also the time horizon is very important. I think from a longer term perspective, I don't think so there are any challenges. Maybe in the immediate run, you could possibly see some stock price corrections happening because stocks possibly have run ahead of fundamentals.
Okay, well, going by the kind of numbers we have got so far in the result season, and usually the better numbers come in the beginning, what is your sense about when earnings will improve? We've got those early bird collated numbers from Business Standard, and they are crying out that profit has grown barely by 5%, much lower than what they did even in the same period of the previous quarter. So when do we see earnings improving? Which quarter you think?
I think based on various ground level checks and corporate interactions, etc., I think improvement and is at least a few quarters away, if not long, if not more. So from that perspective, possibly we are going to see many more earnings downgrades, etc. I think the downgrade cycle has still not got completed as far as the analyst expectations, etc., are concerned. So maybe this quarter you would possibly see the maximum of downgrades, etc., happening. And as far as improvement in earnings, I think everybody seems to be of the view that it should be the second half, and let's see how second half pans out. We believe that FY17 is the year to look at, and FY16 will possibly be a year of very muted growth on broad numbers.
Okay. How do you approach a space like pharma now after the big collapse that we've seen in stocks like Lupin and Sun Pharma?
That space has disappointed. This is the second quarter on the trot where we are seeing some of the large pharma names disappointing, and at least the larger pharma companies seems to be having a poorer pipeline. I think one of the companies is grappling with its major mergers that they have done. The other company doesn't seem to be having a strong pipeline of products, at least for the immediate 12 months. So that kind of thing is there. So the investors have started questioning that pharma has had a super run in terms of the valuations, etc., and the growth that they have seen in the last 3-4 years. Now, is there a case building up for a slight gradual derating of many of these companies in the next 12 to 18 months? So that's a question mark which investors are grappling with. My sense is that maybe the bigger 3-4 names may be in a consolidation kind of phase, and investors would possibly move to the next line of pharma companies, which possibly will be able to show much better growth than their bigger companies.
Okay. Well, Mr. Karwa, let me turn attention to the banks. The results posted by the likes of IOB were absolutely disastrous, and even the other banks and even NBFCs like MMFSL are giving a scary idea of the amount of loan defaults that are still happening. How do you approach private sector banks now, since they were a little unscathed?
As far as the new generation private banks are concerned, most of them have, I mean, the 2 or 3 results which have come, so the results have been good, and stocks have reacted stable to positive. So there the challenges seems to be minimum as such as far as the asset quality, etc. is concerned. The challenges are in the public sector banks, where we have not seen too many of the biggies yet coming out with their results. So the asset quality concerns still remain. And even as far as some of the NBFCs, etc. are concerned, maybe it's a question of like one of the names you mentioned, it's a seasonally weak quarter, and slightly the numbers have been below consensus. But I wouldn't press the panic button there, because a few good quarters, if the rural India performs well, there are decent monsoons, and 2 quarters down the line, you could possibly see recovery numbers also surprising you on the positive.
So would you extend this argument to the FMCG space as well? Because there are so many stocks in the broader FMCG market, names like Dabur, Emami, Britannia, which are still doing much better than the overall market. Is this a space that you would be bullish on?
Yeah, from a growth perspective, yes, they seem to be delivering a decent set of numbers. The challenge over there in that space is the valuations. The valuations are kind of priced to perfection. So I don't know what kind of returns can you make if you're going to be investing in these companies at current prices. So it's not a question of growth over there. It's a question of the valuations, which doesn't leave much margin for growth, price appreciation in the immediate run.
Okay. Well, I just want to ask you, what would be your stock allocation be? If I were to give you 100 rupees to invest, what would be the percentage allocation across sectors now?
First of all, I don't think so you allocate based on any quarterly number. It's more a function of...
No, I'm not asking you quarterly. I'm asking you generally, how would you allocate at this juncture?
I think the way it works is that financials should form an important part of your portfolio, because that's where in the next 24 to 36 months, whenever things improve, you could possibly see the maximum uptake over there. And then second, obviously you come down to cap goods and infrastructure. So these are the 2 segments which should attract a decent amount of your capital allocation. And as far as pharma FMCG is concerned, they are the more stabler kind of portfolios that you own. And last but not the least, I think oil and gas sector is one where you have the oil marketing companies and the refining segment doing well. There seems to be a structural change in that segment, and maybe slightly higher allocation to some of these PSU refiners, as well as that could be a segment where you could see possibly good appreciation.
Actually, I was coming to that, Mr. Karwa. I mean, this is a space, the oil marketing space, which has already given substantial returns. So don't you think that investors may have missed the bus, at least the ones who have not participated, or is there still a lot more to go?
Yes, I think there has been a good appreciation in most of those stocks in the last 6 to 9 months. But having said that, I think if you believe that crude oil prices are expected to be benign, then the subsidy issues are behind the companies. And if you believe that over a period of time DBT will be implemented, and you will have also kerosene subsidies being largely reduced, then structurally there is a very positive tailwind for the whole segment. And please understand that this is a segment where, as far as the retailing is concerned, there is a huge amount of entry barriers. So gradually, if they are able to deliver decent return on capital employed, then the discounting that these companies attract could be much better than what they are currently.
Okay, Mr. Karwa, finally, I just wanted to ask you what you have made of the IT numbers. Is that a sea change, and will that will that make you increase your allocation to that sector?
I think as far as the large cap IT sector is concerned, they seem to be facing a lot of headwinds as far as growth is concerned, and we have seen that in many of the IT companies' numbers also. So that's a sector where we believe which will underperform for some time, and so I'm not too sure that we will be increasing our allocations. And one quarter doesn't make change the view. One of the companies has delivered very good numbers in this quarter, but overall, if you look at it, it's still 8-9% kind of annual growth, and the discountings are relatively rich.
Finally, would you say that the market is protected at 8,000 the way things are?
I would tend to agree. I think we are in this consolidation kind of a range, or the range itself is like 8,000 on the lower side and maybe 8,800, 8,900 on the higher side. That's the kind of a range we seem to be stuck. That's the kind of range that we seem to be in as of now. And I think that should be there for the next 3 to 6 months, barring unforeseen, unprecedented inflows, etc.
All right.
All right, Mr. Karwa, we leave it at that. Yes, that is the consensus view, that this market is on an 800-point leash, so it's not moving anywhere, at least for now. But we will